Hi Capricorn, welcome to your 2019 tarot spread, New Year's tarot spread I should say. A shout out goes to mywanderingfool.com, which provided this spread, and I'll describe things more as after I've laid out the cards and do all of this great stuff. Oops. Uh-oh. I was putting in my cord. Okay, excuse me. All right. Okay. So the card I got as the theme for the new year is the Seven of Wands. So this is kind of a card of proving yourself. And I did get the Eight of Pentacles. So if you're a Capricorn person who's, let's say, in your 20s, and this is your first real job or real, after college or what have you, this is your career choice. You may be in a position where you're trying to show what you've got. And the Seven of Wands is a defensive posture where you may feel like, maybe you feel like you don't have all the knowledge yet or all the skills yet. And if somebody is pointing that out, you feel like you have to, stand your ground. And maybe there's some reason also in your private life that you have to lay down the law, so to speak, of what you are willing to tolerate. But in some cases, it can be a defensive posture because of your own makeup. So it's important to look at yourself and see if you are approaching life from more of a conditioned perspective where you're projecting stuff onto other people that they're not doing. You know how, like, when you say something very innocent to someone, you're not trying to give them a dig and they totally take offense to it, and you feel like, oh my God, I wasn't trying to insult them, and like you have to walk on eggshells. I'm not saying that this could be what is going on, that's how you're feeling towards life, but Capricorn, in my 2019 astrology video, I was talking about all of the astrological things that you're dealing with. And so that can also come up where all of the insecurities that you have, it feels like you are having to defend yourself. But you know what? It could be very righteously that you're defending yourself. You may have tolerated something for too long. And actually, I'll get to the Magician, but it makes me think that perhaps you're going to realize that you are the captain of your own ship and that no one can truly dominate, control you unless you allow it. And maybe you have allowed it too long. And this could be in your private life as well, because we'll look at the card that is emerging from last year is we have the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups to me has such a gentle energy that I don't think it's connected to that Seven of Wands, okay? So it almost makes me think that perhaps in 2018, there were some Capricorn people who met someone new. The Ace of Cups would be like the seeds being planted for a new romance, or even some kind of new beginning to a a job, maybe it's your own career that you are creating for yourself, especially in the healing arts, which the water and the cups would suggest. But it's like maybe you're living double lives in a sense, or two lives in one, where you are still working in the trenches and taking a lot of crap from a person or people who don't appreciate you. And same with a marriage, taking a lot of crap from somebody that doesn't appreciate you. And then at the same time, there is someone waiting in the wings, or there is some, offer with the Ace of Cups. It could even be your own ideas that are gelling into some sort of new business, something that you can do. And that would be wonderful, because I think a lot of Capricorns, they can really fit into that, corporate structure that is a hierarchy, that is like promises, a carrot, dangles a carrot to get the people to conform to that culture. But even a Capricorn individual can resent that, because they can see how different psychological tactics are used against them to keep them in that defensive posture, represented by the Seven of Wands, where they always have to prove themselves. And it's like, no, actually, that shouldn't be the case. If you have to prove yourself, if it's kind of that type of dog-eat-dog environment, or more of the critical kinds of messages being subtly sent, it could show that somebody is trying to keep you feeling off kilter, so that you're always believing that you have to prove yourself. And that makes you work harder, makes you, those kinds of things. And that's not right. So you may have kind of put two and two together, and even with your primary relationship, if you're in a relationship that's contentious and you're not appreciated, you may think, well, there's either you want what the Ace of Cups represents. I think, though, that it's coming in. It's an influence coming in. Maybe you're entertaining the notion of a new love, a new relationship like that. But you're looking at it from the romantic, the heart, soul's connection, not from a practical standpoint or anything like that. The third position is talents you will be expressing this year. I've been getting this Magician card several times. I think that, yes, in this particular position, this is perfect for Capricorn. The Magician has all that he needs, all the elements here. And the number one, being independent, being resourceful, taking the initiative. That you're a cardinal sign. You can do that, Capricorn. You're perfectly capable of doing it. And initiating something is second nature to you. Maybe you miss being able to do that. Maybe you are in a place where you have to take orders and you don't really get a chance to do it for yourself. And you miss that because you feel like you can make great choices, that you have great instincts. And so this is about self-sufficiency. And what I like about this card is I think it goes along with you very well. I think the only drawbacks are the Capricorns who look at it, is it well established, can I establish it very well? Going with what has already been established, going with what already has a certain prestige, instead of saying, you know what, it's not about image or reputation. It's about the ultimate thing for me is about me doing something that is authentic to me, where I feel like I am respected and my gifts are honored. And that's when you get very clear on that, and also having the autonomy. Perhaps you've been feeling like other people are calling the shots too much in your life. Future opportunities, we have a great card, perfect for your sign. Eight of Pentacles, definitely earth energy. This is a card of perfecting your craft. This is a card of maybe getting some kind of training, maybe getting an opportunity to do some kind of internship. Maybe you're not getting paid, but this is a card of material wealth, so there could be opportunities for that. But this is also about learning new skills. So perhaps that increases your ability to market yourself if you do want to be hired by somebody else, or even if you're doing something for yourself, you may need to learn certain aspects of whatever it is that you want to start a business with in order to be able to offer those services. Or maybe it's just kind of like, I have to just get this out of my system so I can practice until I make perfect. Upcoming obstacles. We have here the Page of Cups. And it's a very interesting thing because the Page of Cups, you know, is there a Pisces person in your life, Capricorn? Because that could connect to this person or a child. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you do want to work for somebody else, because you have another mouth to feed and you are thinking that that is something that you really want to be able to do consistently, is to take care of your child. And so going on your own may feel like challenging in that way. By the way, the Ace of Cups can also be about the news of a pregnancy. So perhaps that is another reason why you want to work for yourself, because you figure, hey, I'm going to have to go on leave anyway, but I still have to make money. So the other thing about the Page of Cups is it can point to gullibility. So think about an area in life that perhaps you have allowed yourself to kind of not see what's really in front of you. And that has kind of made you linger with something longer than you should have. Now, I typically think of personal relationships, but it can happen in the workplace too. There can be times when you allow yourself to be manipulated by a boss, or even a coworker who says, oh, can you do this for me, do that? And you're ending up doing a lot more workload because they have to go home and take care of their child and all this stuff. And meanwhile, they get off, you know, an hour and a half early every day, and you're covering for them. So not allowing yourself to see what's really in front of you could definitely be prolonging a situation that needs to, you know, be dealt with. And how to deal with upcoming obstacles. Eight of Cups, leaving what no longer serves you. What this suggests to me is that this is something that has been ongoing and that it really isn't going to be resolved by talking it over. Maybe you've already talked it over with somebody and you realize that they have no intention of changing, and you're not really trying to get them to change because you know that that's futile. So you're at this crossroads and you may decide now it's time to leave. This is not fulfilling me emotionally. And with that Seven of Wands, that's what I want to get back to, because I was talking about, do you feel appreciated? I think a lot of people, if you would ask them that about the workplace, they would say, you're not supposed to feel, I mean, like that's almost childish to want to feel appreciated, like getting a pat on the head, getting a gold star or cookie, you know, for your efforts. It's very important, actually. It's not that people can't function without it, but if you are constantly feeling like you don't know where you stand at work, like the boss doesn't like make it clear if they're happy with your work, that could very well be, as I said, keeping you in this defensive posture because it keeps you off balance and you're always kind of like trying to right things, and it makes you try harder. It makes you feel more like committed to the workplace, ironically, because you're just trying to prove that you're okay, that you're worthy. And that should never be what you're dealing with. If somebody is incapable of praising you, either they're trying to manipulate you or they don't know how to be that way, and that means that they have a negative mindset. I think it's natural to want to be praised, to feel like you're contributing to the company, to the business. Okay. This is the last position. I know basically what it means, but how to achieve your goals and dreams. Well, this is I think this card is connected to Neptune. 7 of Cups. So, first things first. This is a card of choices, multiple choices. And yet you can see, if you look, that some of those choices may not be that nice. The snake, the weird mask, whatever that thing is. And so it's talking about being able to make a choice, being able to choose wisely, but in the first place, knowing that you have choice. That is the most valuable thing that I can impart upon you in any type of reading, is knowing that there are choices out there. There are not the limitations that you might think there are. And getting clear on those choices, because this can indicate confusion. And confusion can happen because you have so many different opportunities, which kind of is a nice thing to have. But on the other hand, there can be this sense that, oh my gosh, if I pick the wrong thing, then everything is shot to hell. No, it's not shot to hell. Abraham Hicks had a saying, I think it went something like, you can't get it wrong and you'll never get it done. Something like that. And the premise is that any path that you choose is the right one. And probably this is because you're choosing it. So it means that something within you resonates with whatever it is that you're choosing. So it can't be wrong. Now, it can be challenging, I'm sure. Not every choice is going to lead to the same easy outcome. But it doesn't mean that all is lost. That's the point. And, if you're fearing this, something is just going to go crash and it's terrible. No, it's probably within you that you are afraid of change, that you're afraid of the unknown, but not anything based on the fact that you happen to make the wrong choice. But definitely be discerning if you have many opportunities coming your way. With the South Node in your sign, Capricorn, watch out for the tendency to just go with the familiar. Stretch yourself a little bit. You have Jupiter, the planet of stretching, the planet of expansion, in the 12th house until December of 2019. So you may have a guardian angel that is always kind of whispering in your ear, telling you which direction to go in, but also maybe blessing you in hidden kind of ways or from behind the scenes. Okay, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Have a great time in 2019. Take care. Bye.